A single penny in your pocket right now could be the key to unlocking a 6 or even 7-figure fortune. Not a mythical pirate treasure, not a rare gemstone buried deep in the earth, but a plain, everyday coin minted in Denver back in 1964. This is the 1964D. Lincoln Santan, ordinary-looking piece of copper that, under the right conditions, has stunned the market by selling for up to $999,000. That's right, what most people would dismiss as worthless pocket change has the power to alter someone's financial destiny forever. Now, here's the real question. How many of these have already slipped through your fingers without you even knowing it? How many times have you tossed away the chance at wealth because you never knew what to look for? If that thought just made you glance at your old coin jar with a little more suspicion, then you're in exactly the right place. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know the secrets collectors and investors don't want the general public to find out. 2. Understand why the 1964D penny can carry such astronomical value. We need to step back into the world of mid-20th century America. In 1964, the Denver Mint produced over 3.7 billion Lincoln cents, billions with a B. On the surface, this sounds like the least rare coin imaginable. But here's the twist. Hidden among those billions were extraordinary error coins. Rare die varieties and uniquely preserved pieces that transformed a simple penny into a treasure chest. Think of it like the lottery. The vast majority are common, but the select few that survive in flawless condition or carry a striking error are the winning tickets. And speaking of errors, did you know that a double die obverse or a rare off-center strike could be lurking on a 1964D penny in your drawer right now? Imagine noticing an extra shadow of Lincoln's profile or a date that seems doubled. To a casual eye, it might look like nothing. But to a collector, that's the equivalent of finding a diamond in a sandbox. No wonder coin dealers go wild when one of these surfaces. Here's where it gets fascinating. In today's market, condition is king. A circulated penny with scratches and wear might still fetch a few $100s if it carries a rare error. But a pristine, uncirculated 1964D penny shining red, perfectly struck, untouched by time, can explode in value. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars, and in a few documented cases, climbing all the way to nearly $1 million. This is where the fear of missing out comes in. Every day, ordinary people unknowingly spend these treasures at convenience stores, drop them into tip jars, or let them gather dust in piggy banks. Now let me interrupt with a quick reality check. If you're thinking, well, I'll never find one, so why bother? Consider this. Every single millionaire who cashed in on these coins once thought the same thing. The only difference, they paid attention. They learned what to look for. So, do you want to be the person who shrugs and walks away, or the person who recognizes a life-changing opportunity when it stares you in the face? Let's dive deeper into what makes these coins so irresistible to collectors. The Lincoln cent itself has an iconic status in American history. Introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. By 1964, the coin had already become a symbol of national pride. Pair that emotional connection with scarcity and condition rarity, and you have the perfect storm for explosive demand. Wealthy collectors don't just see these pennies as metal. They see them as pieces of America's story, and demand keeps climbing. The baby boomer generation, many of whom remember these coins from their childhood, are now in their peak spending years, driving up prices at auctions. Investors seeking safe assets are turning to rare coins as tangible, portable wealth. In other words, the market for coins like the 1964D Lincoln cent is not slowing down, it's accelerating. But here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. Not all 1964D pennies are created equal. The difference between a $5 coin and a $999,000 coin comes down to a few tiny details, the kind most people miss. And in a moment, I'll reveal exactly what those details are and how you can spot them. First, ask yourself, have you ever checked the mint mark carefully? The D below the date tells you it came from the Denver Mint, but that's only the beginning. Look closer. Is the mint mark doubled? Misplaced? Does the coin show unusual spacing in the lettering of Liberty or in God We Trust? These little quirks are like signatures of rarity. Collectors hunt for them relentlessly because they prove a coin is a rare variety. And let's not forget about grading. Professional coin grading services like PCGs and NGC have the power to transform a modestly valuable penny into a jaw-dropping payday. Why? Because a certified grade gives buyers confidence. An MS67 or MS68 red 1964D penny gleaming like the day it was struck in brings staggering bids at auction. Here's the big takeaway. Fortune doesn't always look like a treasure chest overflowing with gold. Sometimes it looks like a single copper coin hiding in plain sight. The 1964D Lincoln cent proves that ordinary people, with nothing more than a careful eye and a little knowledge, can stumble into extraordinary wealth. So what should you do right now? Dig out that jar of coins you've been ignoring. Go through those old piggy banks, coffee cans, and boxes of junk change. Because the longer you wait, the greater the chance that a fortune slips through your hands unnoticed. Remember, the person who finds the next six-figure penny won't be the one who hesitated, they'll be the one who acted. This isn't just about coins. It's about seizing opportunities when they appear. The American dream is still alive, and sometimes it's hiding in the smallest of places. Even in a penny minted in 1964. Tucked away in an old cigar box, hidden in a jar of loose change, or sitting silently in a desk drawer, could be a single penny that has the power to change your financial future forever. Not just any penny, but the elusive 1968 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. A tiny copper coin that, in the right condition, has sold for nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that. Read a single cent, born more than half a century ago, capable of rivaling the price of a luxury home. But here's the catch. Most people pass it by. They spend it without thinking, hand it over at the grocery store, or leave it rattling in a drawer. And yet collectors, investors, and even major auction houses are hunting tirelessly for these rare examples, turning ordinary Americans into overnight success stories. What makes this 1-cent piece so valuable? And how do you know if the penny in your pocket is the hidden fortune you've been waiting for? Stick with me, because the answer may surprise you. Let's rewind. The year is 1968. America is in the midst of cultural upheaval, civil rights movements, and technological breakthroughs. Amid all this, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing billions of pennies. Most of these coins were stamped with small letters beneath the date, signifying where they were minted: D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But some slipped through the cracks. A handful bore no mint mark at all, a subtle detail easily overlooked by the untrained eye. And that tiny absence, that missing letter, is what separates an everyday penny worth exactly 1 cent from a coin worth hundreds of thousands, even millions. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. Think about this. What if your grandparents, or even you years ago, stashed away pennies from change, never realizing the potential value? What if, buried in that old coffee can or inherited jar of coins, lies the very piece that could transform your financial destiny? Some collectors have paid staggering sums for pristine examples. The highest recorded sale so far? A jaw-dropping $991,000. That's not a type of nearly $1 million for a penny that could just as easily have been sitting in your hand. But let me pause here with a quick question, do you? Check your coins when you get them back as change. Or do you let them pile up on the counter? Most people don't bother. That's why so many fortunes go unnoticed, slipping quietly through the cracks of everyday life. Funny, isn't it? We check our phones 100 times a day, but rarely stop to look at the money we're actually holding. Back to the coin itself. Condition is everything. A worn 1968 penny without a mint mark might fetch a nice sum. But the truly life-changing money lies in coins graded at the highest levels by professional services like PCGs or NGC. Imagine the rush, sending in what looks like an ordinary penny, only to discover it's been certified as a once-in-a-lifetime rarity. That's the moment your jaw drops. That's the moment everything changes. Demand from collectors is only intensifying. Why? Because rare coins like this aren't just collectibles, they're investments. They offer a hedge against inflation, a tangible asset that carries history, nostalgia, and beauty in the palm of your hand. And here's the truth. As more people wake up to the potential of numismatics, the rarer coins are only going to climb higher in value. The window of opportunity is narrowing. Every year that passes, fewer of these coins remain in circulation, tucked instead into private collections and vaults where they may never see daylight again. Let's put this in perspective. Imagine 2 scenarios. In the first, someone spends a 1968 no-mint mark penny at the gas station, completely unaware of its rarity. In the second, another person recognizes what they have, gets it authenticated, and sells it for a life-changing sum. One person loses out on a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. The other seizes it. Which one will you be? Now, I know what you're wondering. How do you spot this elusive coin? Start simple. Check the date. Look beneath the 1968. If you don't see a D or an S, pause. Examine it closely. A magnifying glass can help. If the coin appears sharp, well struck, and in good condition, it may be worth sending in for professional grading. Don't dismiss it just because it looks like a penny you've seen 1,000,000 times. That's exactly what makes this treasure hunt so electrifying. The difference between a penny and $1,000,000 lies in a detail smaller than your fingertip, and here's a quick reset. Have you ever thought about how often we overlook opportunities because they seem too small? Sometimes wealth doesn't come from big, obvious signs, but from the tiniest details we ignore. That's the hidden lesson this coin teaches us as we reach the end of this journey. Here's your takeaway. The 1968 Lincoln cent without a mint mark is more than a coin. It's a symbol of hidden value waiting to be uncovered, a reminder that life-changing wealth can be hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or simply someone curious about the change jingling in your pocket, now is the time to act. Check your coins. Learn what to look for. Don't let the next $991,000 penny slip through your fingers, because here's the final cliffhanger while you're watching this video. Someone else might already be digging through their coins, finding the very penny you wish you had looked for. Will you let that fortune pass you by? Or will you seize the opportunity and take the first step toward discovering the wealth that could be hiding in plain sight? Sifting through pennies you've ignored for years, and realizing one of them could pay off your mortgage, send your kids to college, or even fund your dream retirement. That's not fantasy, it's the reality of a tiny, elusive treasure. The 1988 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. A coin so unassuming it hides in plain sight. Yet so rare that one specimen reached an astonishing $966,000 at auction. And yes, your everyday pocket change could still hold one dot. So why is this humble penny so valuable? The answer lies in a printing mistake. A quiet slip at the U.S. Mint that transformed ordinary copper-plated coins into extraordinary artifacts. Most Lincoln cents from 1988 bear a small letter, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, signifying where they were struck. But a handful escaped without that tiny mint mark. To the untrained eye, it looks like a regular coin. Two collectors. It's a golden ticket disguised as copper. But here's the twist. Not every coin without a mark is the treasure we're talking about. That's where the danger lies. Millions of people toss aside potential fortune because they assume their penny is worthless. Others rush to sell, only to discover they had the wrong variation. The fear of missing out here is real. Just think, while you're watching this, someone else might already be holding the genuine 1988 no mint mark Lincoln cent and planning their early retirement. Now, you might be wondering, how rare are these coins really? Experts estimate only a tiny fraction slipped through the presses, making them some of the hardest modern cents to find. Collectors fight tooth and nail to own one because rarity isn't just about history, It's about status, pride, and the thrill of knowing you own something nearly no one else on earth has. Imagine the feeling of having the coin every other collector is desperate to secure. That kind of demand sends values soaring into the hundreds of thousands, even pushing toward 1,000,000. Let me ask you something. How many times have you emptied your pocket change without even looking? How many coins have you let slip through your hands over the years? It's almost scary to think about, isn't it? Because one of those could have been worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your entire retirement fund. And it's not just about the money. Coins, like the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, carry with them a story of error, chance, and hidden opportunity. They remind us that wealth often hides in the everyday, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and a little knowledge to claim it. Collectors know this, which is why they pay jaw-dropping sums to secure these pieces. The coin may be small, but the impact on your life could be massive. Here's a little pattern interrupt for you. If you're still thinking, it's just a penny, ask yourself this: when was the last time a penny could buy you a luxury car or an oceanfront condo? Suddenly, that tiny coin doesn't seem so insignificant, does it? The key is knowing how to recognize the genuine 1988 no-mint mark. Lincoln cent. There are specific markers details in the design. The lettering, the strike that separates a fortune-making coin from an ordinary penny. And without that knowledge, you might overlook it, just like countless others have. Imagine the heartbreak of cashing in a jar of change, only to find out later you let $1,000,000 penny slip away. Now, here's where the urgency comes in. Time is not your friend. Every day, more coins are discovered, authenticated, and locked away in private collections, never to see circulation again. That means fewer chances for you to find one, fewer opportunities to cash in, and a shrinking window to seize this life-changing opportunity. The question isn't whether the coin exists. It does. The question is, will you be the one to find it, or will you be the one kicking yourself years from now, wishing you had looked? Picture this. You hold the coin in your hand. You submit it for grading. Weeks later, you get the call, "It's genuine." Suddenly, you're standing in the spotlight at an auction house, watching as bidders climb higher and higher, desperate to claim the coin that you found. The hammer drops. Nearly $1,000,000 richer. You walk away knowing your life has changed forever. This isn't just about collecting coins. It's about seizing the chance at hidden fortune. It's about turning the mundane into the magnificent. So the next time you see a penny, especially a 1988 Lincoln cent, don't dismiss it. Look closely, because one day soon, it might not just be spare change. It could be your key to freedom, wealth, and the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. And here's the final cliffhanger. We've only scratched the surface of the world of rare pennies. There are other dates, other variations, each with their own secrets and staggering values. Stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll reveal another coin that could be lurking in your home, worth a fortune most people would never believe. So, are you ready to start looking at your pennies differently? The opportunity is out there. The only question is, will you find it before someone else does? You're holding a tiny copper coin in your hand. It looks ordinary, worn, maybe something you'd toss into a jar or use at a gas station without a second thought. But what if I told you that one very specific version of the 1989 Lincoln penny, one without a mint mark, has shocked the collecting world by selling for nearly $1 million? Yes, a single cent, minted in 1989, carrying Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile, could hold the power to completely change your financial future. Most people have a jar of old pennies lying around, tucked away in a drawer or collecting dust in the garage. And most people assume those coins are worth exactly 1 cent, nothing more, nothing less. But history teaches us that the most unassuming treasures are often hiding in plain sight. That's the thrill of numismatics, the art of coin collecting. Because every now and then, an error coin slips past the mint. A rarity is born, and decades later, collectors will pay fortunes to own it. So what makes the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln cent so extraordinary? Normally, pennies from that year carry a mint mark indicating where they were struck: Denver with a D, San Francisco with an S, or Philadelphia with no mark at all. Wait, hold up, Philadelphia coins always lack a mint mark, right? That's true for pennies before 2017. So why is this coin special? The answer lies in a handful of extraordinary error coins from 1989. Pieces were the absence of expected identifiers, combined with unique die varieties and sharp demand from high-end collectors, has created one of the most electrifying stories in modern coin history. Think about it. Tens of billions of Lincoln cents were minted in 1989. Yet, in that massive sea of copper-plated zinc coins, a tiny fraction emerged with anomalies, minting quirks that set them apart forever. And the collector's market thrives on these anomalies. Scarcity is the ultimate driver of value. When something is both common in appearance but impossibly rare in reality, the chase begins. That's why the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has fetched staggering sums. The most jaw-dropping sale coming in at a record $963,000, 1 cent turned into nearly $1 million. Now, pause for a moment and ask yourself, have you ever actually checked the dates and mint marks on the coins lying around your home? Or do you assume, like most people, that they're just spare change? Here's the twist. Missing this opportunity isn't just overlooking a penny. It's potentially walking away from a life-changing windfall. Imagine paying off your mortgage, retiring a decade early, or taking that dream vacation, all because of a coin that once rattled at the bottom of your car's cup holder. And here's where things get even more exciting. Rare coins like this don't just skyrocket in value because of rarity alone, they also thrive on collector demand. There are people, right now, competing fiercely to own a pristine 1989 no-mint mark penny. Auctions become battlegrounds, with wealthy investors bidding higher and higher, determined to capture the prize. And as demand grows, prices can only rise. That means even coins in less than perfect condition can still command serious money. while flawless specimens can reach stratospheric values. But before you rush to cash in, there's a crucial detail. Identifying a truly rare 1989 no-mint-mark penny isn't as simple as glancing at the date. Collectors look for key diagnostics, sharp strikes, die variations, and provenance that proves authenticity. This is where professional grading services become your best ally. A certified coin, authenticated and encapsulated by respected graders, instantly multiplies its desirability. Without that verification, even a genuine rarity may be dismissed or undervalued. Now let's add a little humor too. Break the tension. If you're like me, you've probably checked your couch cushions 100 times for spare change, but never once thought, hey, this coin could buy me a Tesla, or maybe 3. Yet here we are, staring at the undeniable fact that a penny worth 1 cent has leaped into six-figure territory. And here's the kicker. Coins like the 1989 Lincoln No Mint Mark cent are not isolated miracles. The history of U.S. coinage is peppered with hidden gems, rare dimes, nickels, and quarters that slipped into circulation, each carrying the potential to rewrite someone's financial story. Which means, if you find this penny, it may just be the gateway into a much larger world of treasure hunting. So what's the resolution here? It's simple. Awareness. Most people will continue to let rare coins slip through their fingers, selling them off for face value, never knowing what they had. But now you know the truth. The next step is action. Start by examining every coin in your home. Learn the signs of rarity. And if you think you've stumbled upon the elusive 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, get it authenticated immediately. Here's your cliffhanger. The coin world is unpredictable. And just when experts think they've seen the highest value, a new sale shatters expectations. Will the next $1 million penny come from your collection? Will the next headline be about you? There's only one way to find out. Check your coins today. Because tomorrow, the opportunity might already belong to someone else. A copper-colored coin, and realizing you're holding a key to $1 million lifestyle. Sounds like fantasy, doesn't it? But for a select few who discovered the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny, fantasy turned into life-changing reality. One of these coins recently sold for an astonishing $954,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a penny most people would overlook. And the truth is, one could be sitting right under your nose. Now, before you dismiss this as another too-good-to-be-true story, let's dive into why the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln cent has captured the attention of serious collectors and investors alike. You see, in the world of coin collecting, rarity isn't just about age, it's about mistakes, quirks, and anomalies that slip past the mint. The absence of a mint mark on certain 1994 Lincoln pennies turned what should have been a common, everyday coin into a treasure worth more than most luxury cars. Imagine the irony. While millions of us handed these coins to gas station attendants, collectors today are bidding fortunes for the very same pieces. But here's where it gets fascinating. The Lincoln cent itself has a deep history. First struck in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it quickly became one of the most beloved coins in American pockets. By the 1990s, these pennies were so ubiquitous that no one gave them a second glance. Yet within the ordinary churn of coins in circulation, a rare anomaly emerged in 1994. Certain pennies left the mint without the signature. D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. These unmarked coins, virtually invisible to an untrained eye, became a silent goldmine. Think about that. The very absence of a tiny letter transformed a coin worth 1 cent into a piece collectors would fight over at auction houses. Now, let's pause for a second. When was the last time you really looked at a penny? Be honest, did you toss it into a drawer, shove it into your car's cup holder, or even leave it behind at a checkout counter? You might want to rethink that habit. Because if you're lucky enough to find one of these elusive 1994 no mint mark Lincoln cents, you're not just pocketing spare change, you're stepping into a world where collectors, investors, and numismatists line up with checkbooks ready to write 6- and 7-figure offers. So what drives the market value of these coins into the stratosphere? It's the perfect storm of rarity, demand, and prestige. For collectors, owning one of these coins is like holding the holy grail of modern U.S. coinage. The bragging rights alone are priceless. And when supply is almost non-existent, demand skyrockets. The result? Record-breaking auction sales that climb higher year after year. That's how a penny-something so many people consider worthless becomes a life-changing financial windfall. And here's a little pattern interrupt for you. Picture yourself telling a friend, "Yeah, I just sold a penny for close to $1 million." They'd laugh at first, right? Until you show them the receipt. Suddenly, you're not the punchline. You're the one rewriting your financial story. But here's the cliffhanger. How do you know if your penny is the one? This is where attention to detail can make or break your fortune. The no mint mark coin looks deceptively ordinary. You'll need a magnifying glass, patience, and a keen eye. Check the date 1994, then look beneath it. Do you see a tiny D or P? If you do, congratulations, you've got a penny. But if there's no letter at all, if it's blank, you might be staring at one of the rarest, modern coins in circulation now. Don't jump to conclusions too quickly. Condition plays a massive role. Collectors aren't just after rarity, they're after beauty. Coins with minimal scratches, sharp details, and rich luster are worth exponentially more. That's why some 1994 no mint mark pennies in pristine condition have fetched hundreds of thousands at auction, while worn-down versions may only sell for a fraction of that. Still, even the lower end of this spectrum can change someone's financial life. And let's talk strategy. If you find one, don't rush to cash it in at the first pawn shop or coin dealer. That's like trading in a winning lottery ticket for half the prize money. Instead, get it authenticated and graded by a reputable service. Once it's sealed and certified, the bidding wars begin. Major auction houses specialize in coins like these, and serious buyers will drive up the price far beyond what a casual collector might offer. Here's where the urgency comes in. The numismatic market is hot right now, but trends shift. The longer you sit on a potential treasure, the more you gamble on future demand. Collectors want these coins today, and the ones who sell now often reap the highest rewards. That old jar of pennies in your closet could be the ticket to your dream home, a luxury car, or even early retirement tiff. You act before the window closes, so let's circle back to where we began. Somewhere out there, hiding in a coin roll or tucked away in a family drawer, sits a penny with no mint mark, waiting to change someone's life forever. Will it be you who finds it? Or will it be the next person who decides to dig through their loose change? The choice is yours, but the opportunity is real. If you're ready to turn overlooked coins into serious cash, start by examining your 1994 pennies. Every glance could be the one that uncovers a fortune. Don't underestimate the power of the smallest coin in your wallet. After all, history has proven that sometimes it only takes a single penny to become truly wealthy.